Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. We're going to have a blast here. We got a conversation going, and we were talking before the show. David and I were having a conversation about gaming, disruption, psychology, cards, and poker, and
all kinds of good stuff.
Welcome, David, to the Pirate Broadcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me, Russ. I appreciate you inviting me on.
You know, and anybody that's joining in, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate the attention and comments and conversation that were taking place. And if you're not connected with David, go over to LinkedIn, I guess, would be a good place to start, right? And
yeah. I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah.
And you know, the thing about it, David, is that we are all in a place where things are evolving and changing in all our lives. And one of the things that you did that really struck a chord with me was the idea that you just locked yourself in a room and for 3 weeks you created this new game. And to me, that was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's very cool. And I love the fact that you're putting yourself out there like that. So what sparked the idea? And first and foremost, you know, for those that don't know you, maybe kind of give a background of, you know, being a Vegas card
dealer. Of course.
Yeah. And how you got to this place right now.
Sure. I've been a dealer in the casinos for over 10 years. I'm going on 11 years now. And I've seen like the evolution of the gaming industry. And what my company does is that we're called Changing Vegas, and we make skill-based games. So I'm a fan of skill-based games where people play against each other, like poker. That's what I do right now. I'm a poker dealer. And I see that as like the natural progression of things, because you move away versus you versus the house, and Vegas becomes, like you were saying before we came on, you know, it's more entertainment and holistic approach rather than like a predatory business model. So that's our goal. And our main thing right now is to gamify Las Vegas. We want to integrate video games into the Las Vegas experience. So
I was having a guest on the other night that we have, you know, these 3D immersion goggles and virtual, and that's one direction, but there's still a huge market for table games, and card games, and things that are, you know, actively, you know, a group effort. And so I think the thing that really struck a chord with me when we were talking was the fact that, you know, in Vegas, where it's entertainment, there's a lot of entertainment, and engagement, I think, is the key. And like you said, rather than predatory, it can become more inviting and include a lot more people with that model. So
yeah, exactly. It's more about like, when you come to Vegas, you want to have an experience, you know what I mean? And, you know, you could have bad experiences or good experiences, but it's going to be a trip regardless. Right. So, that I think that table games are always going to have a place. I mean, they're synonymous with Las Vegas, and people like that interaction. You know, there's some people like myself, I don't play slots. I just play table games because I like to talk with the dealers and stuff. So, I think that the types of games that we're going towards is like a natural progression of things, and much more positive for everyone. So,
well, tell us about the game that you created. You
sure.
yourself in a room for 3 weeks. And
Well, the funny thing is that the idea came to me in a dream. Funny enough, like I had this dream of all these aliens landing on an asteroid and like competing for resources. And then after this dream, I told my mom about it. She's my business partner, and basically locked myself in the room for 3 weeks. You know, she just brought me like food and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
shout out to Susan.
Yeah. She's great. I basically just created it all from scratch. And the type of game that it is, you're asking about the game specifically. Yeah. It's a CCG, which stands for a computer card game. So you could trace back its origins to like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards, that kind of thing. And the premise is that there's these hypercrystals, right? They're the most valuable mineral in the universe. And so this asteroid has been found in deep space, just like teeming with hypercrystals. And there's 8 different alien groups, factions in the base game. And so these alien groups all find out about the hypercrystals and they all land and battle and compete for the crystals. So that's like the premise of the game. And then like each update, we go to a different planet or world and a whole new batch of aliens comes on. So,
and how many players can play simultaneous?
It's a 4-player game, which kind of sets it apart because most of the time these games are just 2 players. They're just one-on-one. And so there's like more of a social element to my game. Like you said, I designed it as a board game first. When you mentioned, there's still room for board games and stuff. So there's like more of a social element to it. And then the really cool thing about it is that each alien has a different way to win the game. And normally you just build your stuff and you attack the other guy and try to kill them, basically. But with this, each alien has their own reason for being on the asteroid. So there's all these like different mission objectives and stuff. So it's like a different spin on the genre.
Well, and it's fascinating because all of these elements that have to complement and compete with each other to get the same outcome, right? So when we're thinking about game design, and I mean, this is some deep thought here, is okay, how does all of these plays come together, and how do you develop these outcomes and these unexpected outcomes? From the combination of 4 players. That's, to me, that's just like, okay,
it's a lot.
I can't even think about it.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of fun. I've always liked logic puzzles and stuff, and that's how I think of it. Is just like a really complicated problem that I'm coming up with. But it helps. I've been playing these games since I was like 6 years old, so that definitely helps. Now I've been playing them. This is my first time designing one, but I know what it takes to make a good game, and I have other people helping me out. So
that's fantastic.
It's been a wild ride, man. It's been a lot of fun.
I want to give a shout out to a couple of people in the room here. Elise from South Africa is in the room. Thank you so much for being here. Jordan is in for California. Lee says, wow, very interesting. And Marsha Reese, engagement is critical always. Absolutely. She says that Good Morning Pirates make it a super germ-free day. Absolutely. She created Stay Well Copper to keep people safe and sane.
Oh, wow.
Days.
That's great.
And Michael Baker, Morning Pirates. Hey, I hope you're feeling better, Michael. I hope you get out of the hospital soon. Thank you for joining in. The fact that you created this game, David, is on its own amazing. Then the idea that you're expanding this and gamifying Vegas.
Yeah.
So there's probably a few other people you're having conversations with, and so walk us through the roadmap of what your thoughts are and where this is going to go, or how are you going to implement some of these things so people can kind of get on board with this process for you?
Sure. So the very first thing that we knew, like, we want to build up the city around this game. Like I said, the pandemic hit us super hard. I mean, part of the reason I created the game is because for a while there, I didn't know if the casinos were going to reopen. Is my job defunct after 10 years? Like, who knows? But we wanted to. Yeah. And so that kind of pushed me to design it. But what we did is the very first person we met with was with the city of Las Vegas, the Economic Development Board. And they know what we're trying to do because there's a huge like social movement aspect to our game because it's for Las Vegas esports, right? So every single one of our talent, all of our artists, musicians, I'm from Vegas. I designed the game. Mom's from Vegas. She's in charge of the marketing. It's just Vegas people coming together and creating this game like for the city. And that's the whole point. And another way that we could do the economic development angle is I want a GPS feature in the game so that if you're playing like in the Vegas area, then you get extra bonus points and stuff. So to answer your question, first we started with the city of Las Vegas. Then they hooked us up with this innovation center. It's basically this tech startup hub called Blackfire. And that was created with Caesars Entertainment, UNLV, and the Las Vegas Economic Development Board. And we've just been working with their advisors, and they've been great, instrumental in introducing us to people and sending us to events and that kind of thing. So, and now we're just starting to hit our social media, our stride on social media. Mom's been doing a great job on that lately. So,
oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the fact that I'm a huge fan of startups and supporting startups, and I've been doing that for years. I was doing that in Houston. I got a couple of startups I'm invested now, and just to get things going to the point where you can actually develop a product and deliver it is one piece of the puzzle. It's massive, and then to actually get it out and get some velocity behind it and moving it is another piece of the puzzle. And so I guess it sounds like people are open to the idea. They're willing to take it on and help and support you. That's fantastic.
Yeah. It's a really big idea. I mean, I haven't really seen, like with Vegas, we have this really unique angle because the governor has even come out and said, we want the Vegas to be the esports capital of the world. And they're building all these venues and stadiums because they're moving all these, sports teams to this. And the way I see this, like, it's good that we're a game company because, like, if the casinos are working on the esports betting side, and once they get that in, they'll probably just like move it into their sports books and fill up their venues, right? Which is great, but where's the content? With sports betting, they understand because we got the Golden Knights and the Raiders, and you got to have your own sports teams to be legitimate in sports betting. Well, same with esports, you got to have your own video games. So that's our niche. And that's really, I mean, people are waiting for this,
Yeah. Well, and it's almost like, companies right now, where you mentioned your mom, Susan, is doing the social media.
Yeah.
A lot of companies, they may not necessarily do business directly from social media. However, they need a presence just to build authority and visibility. It's like, way back in the day when websites were fresh, it's like, it was, do you have a website? Now it's everybody's expected to have a website.
Yeah.
Like, you go online and the first thing you do is search for their website. Esports is just evolving and it's just exploding. I know, when I was in Seattle, I was living in Seattle, a lot of the game, I remember back when Xbox first launched and how huge it was and how this esports, I think the Key Arena sold out in a matter of minutes when they had an event there.
Yeah. The support for it is just insane. And what's kind of crazy about it is that, like, during this whole pandemic, tons of industries were hit, but the three areas that our company in actually went up: video games. A whole bunch of non-traditional gamers were stuck at home and they're into video games now. It's not just a bunch of nerdy dudes in their mother's basement anymore. Like, there's all kinds of gamers. And then esports, as you mentioned, and then crypto. And those three industries have just exploded. So that when we were looking at our strategy, we're like, well, let's focus on the areas that are doing well instead of terrible. So, I mean, start with what works. So
it's like draft it like NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
Howard says, very interesting, very innovative. Congrats.
Oh, thanks, Howard. I appreciate that.
Yeah, fantastic. Howard is ORL, a fan and a client here. Hi, Russ and David. Jenny Gold, she's up in Colorado. Gabe says, good morning, fellas. Thank you so much. Gabe's another live streamer that's phenomenal. He's doing some great work out there. And he's actually building an inventory of people that are streaming.
Let me write down his name. I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. I got you, Gabe. I got you.
Yeah, he'll follow up with you. So as Vegas kind of evolves and changes in this more of the gaming industry, because the gaming industry is huge. I mean, it's people
Yeah, it
don't really,
dominates everything. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but we're actually streaming on Twitch right now. So
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. What's up?
we got the steampunk background for David, and we got the pirate motif going on. We're dialed in for Twitch.
That's it.
But the reality is I want to come back to what you said, and because I don't think it's truly understood, is that content, the amount of content that is required to keep this thing moving forward is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So what kind of games are you planning out, or what kind of products are you going to put on the roadmap, or what are you thinking in terms of those?
With the game itself, we're going to do a major update every 3 months and add new aliens and stuff. And we're going to have a major tournament in Vegas before every single drop. So that's where a lot of our attention is going to be put towards.
Okay.
We're also a film studio. I have a background in video editing and computer animation. And so, once we get in our investment, Mom's going to handle the film side. And so we have a bunch of movie scripts, pilots that we've written that we're going to do. And then also I'm developing table games as well, like skill-based table games, like poker, where if you're good enough, you can actually win. Because like that's the problem with my generation with Vegas, is that gamers are all about min-maxing, right? We want to get the best bang for our buck, make sure our time isn't wasted. Yeah. Well, we're not going to play a game that we know we're going to lose. Like, there's no point in playing blackjack because you're going to lose. But with skill-based games, you can actually like make a living playing video games. And that's something that Vegas can offer that other cities can't as well, because we have all the venues and entertainment. And especially like once my game comes out, it's going to be huge. And the ultimate goal is to get video games into casinos. Now, I don't know how long that'll take, but that's the ultimate. That's what everyone wants. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, as a kid right now, growing up, and you're saying, "Hey, I love this game. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to learn how to be the master of this game."
Yeah,
it's no different than any other sport. You are
exactly
the top of the caliber. You know, the NBA, the NFL.
And what's cool about being I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. No, I just get really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these games are here. I mean, talk about it. Expand on it.
With the skill-based games, is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking about all the players and what they can do and what they accomplish.
Yeah.
This could be a career for somebody.
It could. And what I want to do is offer enough local incentives, because the thing is like being a game company that's like separate from the casinos, we can put out a free to play game. And if you're not 21 yet, you can still download our game for free. And like you're saying, you can practice up, and we can like cultivate future business. And then once they turn 21, they can like roll up a stake and move out to Vegas, kind of like during the poker boom, right? But you're playing video games instead. And the really cool thing is like, since we're on Twitch, like they'll be able to relate, but I mean, we're mobile, right? You can pick up your studio and move anywhere. And so what I want to do is have enough local incentives in Vegas that it makes sense. If you're playing my game or streaming my game, you can pick up and move to Las Vegas and get all these extra benefits. And that's one thing that our business can do that the casinos can't necessarily do, is build the community, because it's all about community. It's not enough to put the games in the sports book. You have to get the players, because right now they're focused on slot players. That's their target market. But, this is a new type of gamer, a younger, like more modern type of gamer. So that's a huge focus of ours. It's like community building. So, there's tons of elements, like you were saying.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, next to the blackjack or the poker table, and then you could have, your game next to that.
Yeah.
So how would a 4-player game fit into the model for a casino?
Sure. Well, it's, like I said, I keep bringing it up. The only skill-based game they have is poker, and up to 10 people can play poker at a time. So you just need a dealer to, you know, be the moderator for the
Yeah.
action, basically. Yeah. And for table games, and then for the video games, you don't need dealers, you know, you just have machines. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of rolling in my head, you know, video editing, film, and a poker deal.
Yeah.
How did those two intersections collide?
Sure. Oh, well, like when I was younger, I was obsessed with movies. I saw the CGI on Lord of the Rings, and I was just blown away. And so what I wanted to do is go into computer animation and work in movies. But that ended up happening. I ended up going to state school instead as an art student, and then I switched to psychology. And so that naturally led me towards like communication type businesses. And so I was in sales, bartending, crowdfunding, and then I segued into casino gaming, and I've just done that ever since. These are my people, you know, like it's cool. It's cool. Like I'm in good company. So
game mentality is right there.
Yeah.
Well, I really love this. It's fascinating to me because I've not, you know, I was a musician, so
awesome.
I played music and played professionally. And
what do you play?
I would play drums. I was
awesome. Yes, I love the drums.
And so I grew up in a different decade, and I really feel that I see these things going on, and I'm just thinking this is something that we had never thought about or considered, you know. And it's like, okay, this is completely different than sitting down playing Monopoly or, you know, cards at the table.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And I'm just thinking that this is just the next thing. This is the evolution of what gaming is all about now.
Yeah. Well, do you mind if I talk about the crypto angle of it? Because that's kind of a new thing in games. Yeah. So, you know, crypto and NFTs, they're becoming more and more popular with games, right?
Right.
So we've kind of taken a different approach. A lot of games use NFTs and crypto as part of the game play. You know, so you collect your coins and there's burn mechanics, and you create cards and like battle the cards, right?
Right.
But we're taking a different approach because with us, we're economic development, right? So we've got this, me and my mom, we hatched this like master plan, right? So here we go. So what we're going to do is video games. I want to place tons of effort on the art side of it. And as I mentioned earlier, we're hiring all local talent. So what we're doing is we're hiring 8 different Las Vegas artists to design each of the 8 different aliens, and they each have their own art style. So the idea is to build this library of like high quality Vegas science fiction art and then drop them as NFTs. And that way you turn your art, which is normally like a sunk cost, you know, it's just something you got to do, but you turn it into a revenue stream. And we're actually going to do that to fund the game. So there's an element of crowdfunding involved. And the really cool thing about this, and I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, but I see the potential here, is let's say we've built this economy of Asteroid Arena NFTs, right? We've done a few drops and the NFTs are going for like $100 to $150, right? Well, what we can do is do limited edition NFTs and attach them to our merch. So we can charge like, you know, $60 for a stuffed animal of one of our characters or something and attach an exclusive NFT. You know, we give it away. And as long as we don't give away too many, like someone can pay us 60 and we can give them an NFT worth like $100, you know? And so like you can actually generate wealth. Like that's what I want to get to, is to the point where they pay me and my company helps. And then I mint an NFT that costs like 14 cents. It costs me nothing, but to you it's worth 120, and people can actually make money by like buying our products. Like, and that's just crazy to me, because when you give money away like that, it is going to change Vegas. It is going to help people. So, that's like the end goal. I'm not sure how to get there, but we're going to start with the first drop and go from there. So,
well, the first step is imagining what the possibility is, right?
Yeah. And
you just have to think about what you can do and what is possible. So
exactly. And we've got this local crypto group that we're working with, and they meet at Blackfire, so they're helping us out with everything. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. I love the idea of the NFTs. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the concept of how, and I think back on any kind of collectibles. You look at something that somebody collected, some doll from 100 years ago or something like that, and now people are willing to pay thousands of dollars, or the car that you left in the garage for
dude,
30 years
ago. I
I
sold all my Pokemon cards like 5 or 6 years ago. It's like, man, if I just held on to them, I'd be rich. Like, it's so annoying.
You don't ever know. And that's the beautiful thing about NFTs too, is that you can, create something once, and continue to sell it. That's like duplicating yourself. That's duplicating that effort, which is the real secret of building wealth, is being able to duplicate yourself, your outcomes, or your revenue. So
yeah, definitely
it's fantastic. Well, David, this has been fantastic. I love this idea. I love this concept. So how are you looking to get assistance and support from the community?
Sure.
How can the pirate community help?
Yeah. We're a community-based business. So, if you're in the Vegas area, especially, reach out, but even not, we need support. So just follow our social media. Our website is changing.vegas. And then we have a Twitter and a YouTube channel as well. So just for now, follow our stuff. We're just getting started. We're going to relaunch our Discord here pretty soon. And we've been going to a lot of events. So we're going to be updating our YouTube here. As I mentioned, it's kind of tough because I'm actually dealing the World Series of Poker right now. So I've been kind of busy, but
a little other side distraction, right?
Yeah. I got to pay the bills. But
Gabe says we have a huge esports facility here in Arlington, Texas.
Oh, really? Oh, it's Gabe again. Okay, Gabe. Yeah, we got to talk, brother. Like, we definitely need to link up.
Gabe's right on. He. In fact, I think I'm going to be. We got a live stream tomorrow, possibly. So.
Oh, perfect.
That's awesome. We're going to jump on and catch up. Cool. All of these things, David. It's fantastic. All of the notes and everything about this will be in the post later on. But I just really appreciate you jumping on, taking the time to explain some of these things to the pirate community. And I applaud your efforts and look forward to big success. And so I can say I knew David when.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And Russ, I just love your positivity and what your broadcast does. Like, it's great how you're helping out entrepreneurs. There's, how tough it is to launch a business. So every little bit helps. And this is a big step for us, like coming on these shows. So thank you very much.
You bet. Anytime. Yeah. Come back and give us updates, man.
No, absolutely. Like I'll let you know. I'd love to come on again. And, once I have something to show you, and if you want to play test the game, I'll send you a link once the demo's done.
Oh, perfect. That would be awesome. Thank you so much. And everyone, thank you so much for being here. Jenny, Gabe, Elise, all of the Michael, everybody joining in. And if you're listening to this in the future, thank you so much. Support the channel, support the, link, all the, like, comment, share, all that kind of good stuff. And as always, kindness is cool and smiles are free. So you enjoy the day. Take care. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.